that thing was up when we did the last review.
I know, but the sun wasn't that side.
Very good point. It seems very watered down.
I will. Hello, welcome to the review, and we're gonna do Ghost Momentum.
Ghost Monument.
Don't care.
That'll do. So, we're going to be reviewing episode 2 of series 11, and what we think of it. We reviewed episode 1, which is The Woman Who Fell to Earth. I'll put a link in the description to that video at some point if I'm not lazy enough. If I'm too lazy, rather. I already fucked up. So, looking at the episode, what do you think of it?
My hopes have not been let down yet. The series is doing well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the second episode, I feel like it was slightly weaker than the episode 1, but I don't think it's bad. I think it was an alright episode. I like that it led straight from episode 1 to
At least it's not emojis.
No.
Or
That's right.
Or a puddle.
No, that's
which
right.
was episode 1 and 2.
No, that's right. I do like that it leads straight from episode 1 to episode 2.
Yeah,
It's kind of a loose cliffhanger, we were saying. So
yeah, a soft part 2.
Yeah,
is what I call it.
Yeah, no, that's right. I do like that it's a completely different sort of story.
It's not exactly connected to the first one, but
no, it hasn't
the first one led to that one.
No, exactly. That's good. I do like how it kind of starts like at full speed. Like all of a sudden, the Doctor and her companions are all split up. You know, obviously doesn't really go anywhere.
Well, that was about 10 seconds. But it's like
yeah, but it was all right.
It introduces the two characters.
And it does it well, I suppose. I mean, their only purpose was to, just kind of be there, like, as like screen time for the episode, to be honest, because those were they were doing this race or something, right?
They were doing a race, and they
with the last two left, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which for the whole way through, that part of the story with the race, I felt weak because all the way through, I could see what was going to happen. It's like, oh, they have to race each other. Oh, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. Then the Doctor's like, no, you're both going to go together. I was like, really? I feel like coming a mile away.
It's a bit cliched. But
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, cough, cough.
Yeah, that's a little bit, a little bit too similar to that, isn't it?
Yeah. Or there's any other story which has a race in.
No, so I do like the idea of the planet, but I feel like what is letting this episode down is we've seen so many like desert planets in Doctor Who now that it's got a bit tiring. You know what I mean? I think that's the only issue really, is that we've seen too many desert planets and dead planets where society's been ruined, and we never really did find out what happened to the alien society, like the society on that planet before it turned into a desert. You know what I mean? We didn't really get to learn.
Actually, I think it was those bandage things.
Oh yeah, those bandage things.
I don't think there's not actually a proper enemy in this episode though. That part I find interesting. It's like it's
more
not
of a grey area. Of,
it's more
who
like
the bad guy is.
It's more like robots. Okay, they won't attack unless you shoot it. So I one shot him.
Yeah, no.
Technically, it's not an actual enemy.
It's
it's
not
just
evil. It's just a race.
Someone's fought by accident with obstacles.
No, that's the thing.
Bandages was like sorry.
No, sorry. Go.
And the bandages things, I don't know what the fuck they're called.
No, me neither. I didn't really catch a name either.
No, I think someone else in the one of my chats has. And it's like really they were just used mainly for plot in the future.
No, yeah, that's
which
right.
we'll go on to later.
Yeah,
because I've talked to other people about that part.
I feel like people are arguing that this episode is a bit samey and a bit boring because you see a lot in Doctor Who where they just chuck robots at the Doctor and expect the Doctor to fight them all. It's a bit like that at times. I feel like this episode goes too much in that direction. But why? I like
it does, but
I like that they didn't throw too much in the episode this time. I like that it was just a desolate planet, and there are robots and those bandage alien monster things. They're there. Apart from that, that's it. Apart from the race, which was kind of just fizzled out towards the end of the episode.
I felt this episode was more of an attempt to try and introduce the new Doctor Like the first one, there was like
her problem solving and all that.
Let me explain. The first episode was showing the companions and her motivation. So I had an idea that okay, she wants to help people. It's like the Doctor always does, but it's like she is more loving doing it. He just wants to save planets. I like the way he saves planets. She helps people in particular, and that was more that idea was more confirmed in the second one, where he's like trying to get Graham and Ryan to work together to fix stuff, and trying to get the two racers to go at the same time. It's like trying to make. She's trying to. You can tell she's trying to improve the individuals, not. Oh, I'll save the planet. I'll take you with me. Oh, you're impossible. It's like no.
The companions are normal people,
It's
and they're still normal people in the second episode, and they're not. They haven't got this. They haven't got their mobile phone that is magic like a MacGuffin, and they can like save the planet with it or whatever. You know, it's nothing like that. They don't have this.
Oh, that's the Doctor's fault.
No, but you know what I mean, though, right? They don't have this otherworldly power to fix things. They are just normal people who are along for the ride. Because they came along for the ride by accident, as was shown in the end of the first episode. From memory, I don't think we saw that much use of the screwdriver. Well, Sonic, Swiss Army knife, I think we said.
We just call it Sonic.
Swiss Army Sonic.
I just call it Sonic anyway.
So we didn't see much use of that in this episode, from memory. I probably need to go back.
It's probably literally just. It was literally just go. Zzz, okay, that's something.
No, that's the thing.
Oh look, a door. That's literally all. It was like fuck. I guess it's going a good way.
No, that's good.
Because we were worried about Chris, he would just carry on using it as a magic wand, like he has not. Like Power 3 was doing so well
until he just zapped the screen, and then
all
the people came back to life, and then he blew up the ship with his Sonic, which is fucking ridiculous.
Really, he was doing so well in that episode, but these two, he's
trying.
It worked a bit more. He's actually putting a bit more effort in his writing. Him and his like sub. Other writers.
Yeah, no,
His
yeah.
main
His
writing,
no.
His team.
Oh, yeah. That's it. No, that's the thing, because he's brought on a new writing team for this new side of this new aspect of the show. Because obviously Stephen Moffat's gone and all of his team has gone. So I think so far it's not too bad. I feel like this episode was a smidge below average, but I don't think it's bad by any means. I just think that it's like an average run-of-the-mill episode of Doctor Who. It's nothing, amazing, because there isn't really too much going for it. There's too much of other aspects of episodes going on in it. The dead planet, the fucking robots. Then there's the bandaged aliens that I think is a bit ridiculous in my opinion.
I feel this episode was really just mainly used to introduce this Doctor, try and show who she is a bit more than the first one did, because that was your letdown for that.
Yeah.
But I feel this one showed it a bit more.
I think I got a bit more of an idea of what she is. Still not fully sold on her with these two episodes, which is a bit
I know, but that's
a worry.
But the way they're doing it, that's how I feel I like it, because it's showing each bit gradually.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah, instead of going boom character.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it works for some eras, but it doesn't for others. So maybe this is the right way to go for her Doctor. So I'm thinking, like, I like how they've kind of written her as this kind of she tries to like talk to people one by one, motivate them into keeping themselves alive and stuff. I like her problem solving. I don't know, something about it is quite good. Jodie Whittaker's acting, not the best actor of the Doctor in my opinion. I think she could do better. But nothing against the actress. I just think that there's better actors in the role of the Doctor beforehand. But acting isn't everything, just like writing isn't everything.
It's a mix of both. I was like how they interpret the writing.
And that's the thing, because writing in this so far in these two episodes aren't really that bad, to be honest. So I think as a story, this episode is slightly let down. Like I say, there's too much of other aspects of episodes coming into it, with the desert planet and the robots and all that.
Those bits are a bit cliche.
Exactly. I just feel like it's kind of a mash-up of past episodes into one, just so that we could get more time with the Doctor and her development. That's why I think that it's a bit like of a shame that they couldn't have built sort of a cool, scenario to drop the companions and the Doctor in after
but
being.
hopefully, because all these cliches are all put in one episode, maybe he'll try and avoid them in other episodes instead of having them all separate. Like, robots. I mean, it's going to be robots, but it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Cybermen, all Daleks, all Dalek, 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 all Cyber Dalek. What?
Yeah.
That one's new.
No, yeah. I think that maybe.
Ooh, Android. Oh wait, that's alien. I've referenced every sci-fi now. Probably.
So I think that this episode was all right. I think we got. I think how it treated the Doctor was better than episode 1, in my opinion. I do like the sort of slow progression of the Doctor being developed. I just feel like we could. I wish that we could get more of an idea of what that's going to be like in this episode, like more hints of what she's going to be like. That's what I just wish in these episodes. Wish we'd get a bit more of a clue as to what she's like, rather than just doing it at a slower pace. But anyway, Ryan's getting a lot of time in these 2 episodes. He's got a lot of screen time, hasn't he? He's got a lot of development, which is crazy.
Which actually, in a little way, it does make sense. Like,
it's good. I like it.
Because again, he's not disabled, but he's known as the disabled one. Out of everyone, he's got a disability, his coordination situation.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and because of our society, we want to point these out, not to make fun of anything, but to show they exist.
Yeah.
Not just like, he's got an arm off. Not as in mental stuff as well, are still things that affect people.
Yeah.
And it wants to show it.
No, that's right.
So pointing it at. So Ryan getting the shine helps in that situation, like through societies.
Yeah, no, that's right. I think that it's good that they're kind of like showing him as like the sort of companion that's like the victim in a lot of situations.
Yeah, but it's not really.
But it's kind
not
of
really
like
affecting him that much. It's just like
that's the thing.
no ladders. Like
it's just little obstacles that are a bit more difficult for him, which is I think
for us, which are normal things, and they want to show it's like. Because normally all the previous companions, believe it or not, I'd say the term best to describe them is perfect. It's like, they can do this, they can do this, they can do this. It's like, something's physically stopping him.
No, yeah. I think that it is good that we have that aspect of the companion. It makes him stand out from the roster of companions that we have this series, because obviously you have a lot of companions this series, but I feel like they're juggled out well, so that we have Graham, who's kind of the comic relief, but I don't like to call him comic relief because I feel like Graham got a lot of time this episode as well, because he didn't get too much last time. He was a bit of a wimp, I suppose, is what you'd say. Out of them, he would point the finger at Ryan and like give him a hard time, and then he'd be. Graham was like in the first episode.
I didn't really see that.
Well, I mean, Ryan didn't really get on with Graham, is what I mean.
I know, because he's his step granddad. He doesn't want to accept him as his family. He doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Feel right about it.
Yeah, I think that like
it was this episode like was sorry.
No, that's right.
Was trying to show the Doctor and also the Doctor trying to make their relationship better.
Yeah,
because that's what Ryan's nan would have wanted.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, because obviously the thing that's brought all these characters together on and what stuck them together is their like experience they shared together of the loss of the nan that died in the first episode. Yeah. So that's good. Obviously, it would hit harder for Ryan and Graham because those two are the ones that knew Nan before the episode even started. So, but I feel like it's a good little like. It's an event that brings the main characters together, and I think we needed that in episode 1. So it works in that respect. I like Graham in this one. I can't remember what he did particularly, but I just remember when watching it, I was like, Graham's being more helpful. He's trying to help the team out and stuff. I do think that what's a bit silly is there's one of the racers. I've forgotten his name. One with the bloody cigar. How does that? That's just such a MacGuffin, right? He just clicks it and it explodes. That was deliberately set up.
Yeah, that bit was.
That was a bit. I don't like that. It's a classic like Chibnall writing, problem.
Yeah, that bit was the closest to a Sonic thing. That annoyed. That bit annoyed
It's
me
like,
as
because it was
well.
such a good, like, climax as well, because they were being surrounded by those weird, bandage-looking monster things, and it's just like, oh, okay, just chuck it in the air and click it, fine.
It was good effects and stuff, but it's like,
It's like, that
I'm
seems
sorry, that
like,
came out of nowhere.
it seems like lazy writing, in my opinion. I feel like he just wrote, I feel like Christian Miller went through the whole episode and got to that bit. It's like, oh shit, all the characters surrounded by the bandage monsters, oh.
It was
What do we do? Okay, I'll create a cigar at the start of the episode. That
Actually, I
activates when you
think the
click it.
whole thing was like went through the episode because it looks like there wasn't meant to be an enemy,
No.
which I would have liked, but then at the end they realised actually there is no enemy. Okay, we need to put one in.
Yeah, and the monster thing. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll. I think from now on we need to talk a bit more about that because I've got some stuff to say
Yeah, that's fine.
related to the bandage things.
No, yeah.
So it's like they were like, okay, so because it was literally about 5-10 minutes.
No,
And it was very near the end of the episode that there's... So you can tell there wasn't meant to be an enemy, but it's like they had to add one in for plot.
Yeah, because
For future plots.
Yeah, because the bandage monsters weren't really any main focus at all. They were just kind of there.
Yeah.
And they weren't really explained how their existence is meant to be. And I think what contrasts from this episode to the first one is they thought out the aliens' culture and how leaders are chosen and what the monster's motives is, whereas...
This monster was just here for plot. For future episodes.
That's the thing, because it's just like the bandage I'm going to keep calling them that. They're literally just there to move the plot along, to keep the characters moving and running away, keep them on their toes. Otherwise the episode's going to be boring. We're putting it harshly, because there's no stakes, are there? So, but I think that the bandage monster, I feel like it was very weak in the actual story arc of the episode. I feel like the characters are written very well, actually. There's a big...
Okay, they're still not got a name. They don't have a name.
Oh, they are. Let's just call them the bandage monsters.
They
then.
literally didn't even have a name. They were literally just there.
That's a sign of lazy writing, in my opinion. I don't like that. They were just there and then they weren't. They weren't even a main focus. The robots were self-explanatory. Were they part of the race or something? Yeah. That's what I seem to... That's what the impression I got from it. But then the bandage monsters were just... They were the reason that the society...
Actually, no, I remember what the sonic was used for. It's literally used for scanning the water, because the guy said, stay out of the water.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, there's
It speeds the plot.
Fascinators in there.
Yeah.
Literally, that
acid water or whatever, right? She said something
no, it was
like
creatures within the water.
Oh, right, got
So it just reminds me of Fascinators. It's like, they sound too much like Fascinators.
Yeah.
Please say they're Fascinators, because I love that word.
Well, we don't know.
So I'm like, please be a reference to
a past episode.
Please, come on.
We should have the
like,
Vashnarada back. We should have the Vashnarada back in an episode. It's a shame that we haven't yet, isn't it?
Like, not as a main enemy, but it would have, because it's mainly owned for trees. It's like, maybe this is like, not actually Vashnarada, but it's related to them.
Yeah. No, that
like another species.
It's like, add an aspect to it.
It's like, I didn't want it to be like the main plot, but it's like that.
No.
Because they were described creatures that can eat you within a second. It's like, that sounds a lot like them, at least say their name. It's like, I've met them before in a library. It's like, that would have been a good reference.
Yeah, it would
have. So it's like, stuff like that you could have added
in. It would have been a bit too heavy-handed at the same time. I feel like just saying the name or something similar to that would have been like, ooh.
Yeah, just point it out like...
That would have been good. But anyway, so we're getting sidetracked now.
Yeah.
So,
the sheet monsters.
Yeah, the sheet monsters.
What they said to the doctor. Do you remember this?
Oh god,
I told you, I'm sorry.
Time child or something,
Timeless child.
Timeless child.
I've got it right here. And apparently apparently the doctor started crying. It's like, I know everyone at least had the thought at least once that, if we're talking about the doctor, being an outcast and stuff.
Yeah.
To her own
people
and them. But it's like, I know the idea which came up was like probably referencing Classic Who.
No, Timeless Child never come up in Classic Who, I don't think. Never come up.
I know, but like, because the doctor cried, it's like, okay, it's someone actually who the doctor knows, who's still alive in New Who. No one really. Not technically, no one who'd have the name Timeless Child.
No, not really.
And this is how people reacted. They think she's returning. The granddaughter. can't remember her name.
Susan, yeah.
I was going to say Sophie.
Susan.
At least I got the S. Come on. I know what she looks like.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
this regeneration.
Yeah. So
Damn lady.
I don't know. I feel like the timeless child. So were they referring to the Doctor then? Because I swear they were. Like referring to
that's
the
too.
Doctor as the
Thing is, that's too easy. Everyone would.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Everyone would assume that. But it's like, would the Doctor cry over that?
Well, who knows? It depends what Chris Chibnall churns up from that. You know, it depends what he writes about in that. You know.
But unfortunately, I think they're going to bring back someone from the classic Who.
I hope they do, but I just don't know who they might bring back, because the Rani isn't someone the Doctor would cry over. The Master wouldn't be the timeless child by any means.
And I was like,
I don't even know what that means.
And I was like, the reason I've actually had a conversation with my friends, and they were going, we think it could be the granddaughter, because, and as soon as I said granddaughter, it's like the amount of hints through that the 12th Doctor has, like literally in pilot or the pilot.
Yeah.
It was just going. We just saw loads of stuff related to Susan everywhere, like her photo and that stuff. It's like, so most likely they're gonna try and bring her back.
Yeah, maybe.
Which I don't
know. That's the thing, because it's like we've been there.
I don't even know what happened to her.
Because the thing is that
Can you tell me that later?
she didn't die, but no. So in Dalek Invasion of Earth, a Big Finish is counted as canon, by the way. Just want to let you know.
I know.
So basically,
I like the way that is, but people say Ninth Doctor isn't.
Yeah, I know. That needs to stop. Because I love the Ninth Doctor. But anyway, so the First Doctor basically leaves Susan behind because he doesn't want to put her in any more danger, because it was a giant Dalek Invasion of Earth episode, and it was like, oh, the universe is full of dangers, so he leaves Susan on Earth with a human man who she fell in love with earlier that episode or something. But in the Big Finish audio, there was one where the 8th Doctor met up with her again. Yeah, I know, and she had a child who, spoiler alert, died in the second Dalek Invasion of Earth on the Big Finish audio. So I don't know if they're going to adapt that sort of storyline and like keep that going. You know, I don't know, but it's a possibility. But the Timeless Child, I don't know about it being Susan. They could do, I suppose, but we just don't know.
I mean, like, it was something most people, like, people said they missed it, but they mentioned something, but they didn't know what.
No.
It was like, I remember hearing the word Timeless Child, so I searched up the rest of the quote, told them it, and they went, okay. Then they just immediately thought granddaughter. And Doctor says, like, oh, I would like to, but it's like, it's a Stephen thing. You're bringing back old people.
No, that's where I think, like Doctor Who, like so far as like in RTD era, they didn't even mention the classic Who. Like they mentioned
they did like bring
they didn't
back the enemies, but that's it. Like they had to bring
that
back
was
the
Daleks and Cybermen and Sontarans. Apart from that, nothing. They didn't reference any classic episodes. They brought back monsters, but they didn't reference any episodes. Whereas in Stephen Moffat's era, they relied too much on knowledge of the classic series, you know, from fans for their own good, and it alienated new viewers coming onto the show, which is why the viewing figures went so low. But I feel like this series doing that as well would just be shooting themselves in the foot, really, because they've already like released. I mean, they're opening up the classic Who to new Who audiences by releasing the Blu-ray box sets now, which is good. But with the Series 11 logo.
Like, loads of stuff just came out when Jodie was announced, right?
Yeah, no, that's
so
right.
It's like all this stuff came out of nowhere, so it's like I'm sorry, but it's very clear. Classic Who, they're bringing back someone.
Yeah.
Someone close to the Doctor.
Yeah, they could do that. I just
no,
I don't know.
it's very possible. It's not they could.
I know. I just don't like the idea of it, really. I don't know, but. Yeah,
but we can tell, like, I can tell Timeless Child is something that's going to keep being referenced.
Yeah.
It's like Bad Wolf situation.
Yeah, no, don't do that. That's
or
just
Crack.
Ridiculous.
Or Silence.
Yeah, it's just, I hate it when they do that, you know, because Chris Chibnall said in an interview, no overarching plot, and then they go and do, Timeless Child.
But it's not going to be like I don't think it's a main plot, but it's going to be something built up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be.
Well, that's what the crack in the wall was. That's what the bad wolf was. That's the thing.
I know, but that was like an arc that lasted the whole series.
Yeah.
But it's like I think it's going to be referenced like that, but it's not going to be. It's like the crack had so many different endings to it. That annoyed me. It's like, it was the TARDIS exploding. Oh,
the Doctor's on the other side. Or now the Time Lords are on the other side.
The whole of Gallifrey is like, it's one crack.
Yeah.
It looks the same. No.
Anyway.
Shut up.
So I think the overarching plot thing.
I think this like Timeless Child will end this series. Like they'll just introduce the character.
Maybe.
But I feel like it's. Oh no, it's gonna. I feel like Timeless Child is also gonna be like an Impossible Girls. Like that's their name. It's gonna be one of those characters. But it's like. That's why I was a bit worried, like introducing the Timeless Child. It's like you've got Bad Wolf, Dr. Donna,
Impossible Girl,
girl who walked Earth, Hybrid, Impossible Girl. I was like, please don't. If you are, at least introduce it in the next 2 episodes. This character, and just, that's it.
And then be done with it. Don't.
I mean, maybe have them come along for a while.
Yeah.
But don't let them control the Doctors. Like, oh. Who's this Timeless Child? Oh, it's my granddaughter, who's now a grandson, because regeneration.
Yeah. Anyway.
She is a time lady. I was like, actually, yeah, time ladies.
Yeah.
So it's like, do they regenerate? Like, is she actual related properly?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because they came from Gallifrey, the travellers of the 4th dimension, in the words of the first Doctor. Anyway, getting sidetracked again. So,
I do.
Quickly before we end this review, what do you think of the new TARDIS design?
Need more lights.
No,
It's just very dark.
I don't like how.
I don't like it.
I don't like
how.
how.
You redecorated.
I don't like how squeaky clean it is. I don't like how it doesn't feel homely. It doesn't have any I don't know. Because even with the 12th Doctor's TARDIS, he had bookshelves, and with the first Doctor TARDIS, he had a rocking chair. He had a grandfather clock. He had all this stuff. Yeah, and so it's just like now that you've taken all that back, and it's just an empty room, like the pattern and everything.
Yeah, it did look a bit empty, but I think that's probably because it's gonna let Jodie decorate it through the series. Yeah. Like the Doctor's
clutter it up as the series goes on, yeah.
Yeah, it's like momentums from their adventures.
Yeah, that works, I suppose, yeah. That would be a cool thing to do. Did you see the one of the controller bits is the a model of the police box on the console?
Oh, I saw that,
yeah, that's actually the Chameleon Circuit control. That's a new feature.
Oh, I like.
I like that they kind of added that little model there on the console.
I'm just curious. Was it just lighting, or did the TARDIS look a bit more green? Because I like that bit.
I like the
because Yaz beforehand says it's like the one around the corner. Therefore, that's more green. It's like, does this look? I feel it looks a bit more turquoisey to me. It's like,
it looks more like a cyan blue, really. And then
so it's like that's interesting.
And then it has the blackout pull to open sign rather than the plain white Illuminous one that we've had for the whole of the new series. Because the blackout pull to open sign has only been used for the 4th Doctor, I think. Don't quote me on that if I'm wrong. But yeah, I do like they kind of just revamp the design and everything. I think it works more.
Yeah, I like that.
Really different.
Isn't it more crystally inside? It's that bit I like as well.
The weird pillar things that
kind of go around crystals that looks. I like the look of that.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It looked very sci-fi. This design. I feel like
I reckon the whole thing's gonna light up when the TARDIS activates. So all of those crystals.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, okay.
That'll be cool. I feel like the TARDIS needs to be cluttered up with random tat they just pick up from episodes though. Otherwise, it's just gonna feel too much of just some random old sci-fi shit. And I don't want it to be that. I want it to be homely because it's the Doctor's.
I mean, there's enough companions, so maybe they'll all bring back some momentums they will just place down. It's
mementos. Yeah. So the design of the TARDIS might grow on me. I feel. Oh, speaking of that, what do you think of the Doctor's clothing? Her costume now that you've kind of seen it in a couple episodes.
In the episodes, I didn't actually mind. Or like when they showed it originally, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that. In the episodes,
a
you
lot
don't.
of like clashing colours. I was thinking at first, but
Yeah, it's like in the episodes, you don't really notice it. It's like,
No.
okay,
it's just kind of there, really, isn't
it's
it?
like hang on, oh, there's a piercing, cool.
Yeah,
And her left ear is like,
looks
okay.
cool. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's not a really bad like clothing design, but you know, it's nothing spectacular either. I think it's just kind of, it's not. I don't hate it anymore. But I feel like I'll come to that same sort of agreement in my mind with the TARDIS as well as time goes on. You know, that's probably what will happen.
At least she's not wearing a hoodie.
No, yeah, that's right. Well, she's wearing a hood and a coat.
I know that's part of the coat.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so what are you going to give out of 10 for this episode?
6.5.
Fair enough. I'm going to have to go maybe 5.5 to 6.
Fair enough.
I'm going to have to, yeah. Because I wouldn't go 5 because it's not a bad episode by any means, but...
I'll go more. I'm knowing more 6 because of the reasons like the things they just threw in, the lazy writing related stuff. Is like
Yeah.
that drew it down for me. But it's like the idea of the episode, like what they were trying to do,
Yeah.
that came through to me. I saw what they were trying to do. It's like that worked.
Yeah, no, that's right. I just think that like the thing that kind of kept the episode along was very stale and it was very sheep monsters or whatever, the bandaged things, and then the robots. It seems like what are the. I like that there's no clear set like evil like
yeah,
thing.
that's what I like.
That's good, but I feel like we should have got like a little bit of an explanation as to how these bloody sheep monsters were able to destroy an entire alien society. That's where I think the episode suffers. I think that characters are written well.
Because they introduced it, literally, it was just introduced just to develop future plot related stuff.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Now they, and because old Doctor Who has to have a monster, it's like no, what you had would have worked.
No, that's right. Yeah. I should be honest. If they just kept it
Maybe-
as robots,
maybe-
because
Maybe
you know-
had that episode develop more character. That could have been episode could be used more character development instead of
yeah,
character
you know
to
what?
fight defeating monsters.
You know what they could have done instead? Completely scrapped the whole like sheep monster things, and had the reason why the society was destroyed is because the people who set up the race deliberately destroyed their society as like a battleground for them to set up their like arena for their final race or whatever. You know, they're like, right, okay, we need this planet to look like a desert, ruined society. Let's shove loads of robots here and let them clean the place up. You know,
Okay,
I feel like that would have been good.
So 1 sec.
So, yes, I think it would have been cool if they just left it as like the reason why the planet was, you know, the society is gone. It's a desert planet now, is because the people who set up the games destroyed it. That would have been good, you know, because it
Yeah.
would have been, you know. But then there would have been that sort of sense of, oh, the evil people are the people who set up the race, right?
Hunger Games.
No, yeah, it would have been a bit too much like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's not like that already. No, but I don't know, because it was an alright episode. I just feel like they were missing a lot, and they did rely on a lot of cliches in previous episodes, which is a shame.
Yeah. But
But
hopefully, because they're all here,
Mhm.
I'm hoping they won't be coming up later.
Yeah, no, that's right. They've got like the weird one out of the way, the one where they, you know, just kind of use past episode
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, so any last thoughts, or is that it really?
Not really.
Okay, fair enough. So I hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and yeah, join us whenever we find time to review episode 3. I don't know what it's called. Is it called? What? I don't know what it's called.
Rosa Little Bit.
The Rosa Park one. I've
Yeah.
forgotten what it's called. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed.
Rosa Park.
I think so.
It's got her name in it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.